Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth, and you can keep this conversation going with yours truly over on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. So what does the Superman and Lois show mean for Supergirl? The future of Supergirl. Now, Supergirl's really struggled since its inception, both in ratings and creatively. In fact, the creative problems and the lack of imagination and excitement for that show has caused a ratings meltdown. It started off on a massive network like CBS, had really big ratings for the pilot, then it dipped very quickly. They dumped it onto their sister network, the CW, and it struggled ever since. It struggled, as I say, because the show has lacked excitement and imagination, and there are too many characters in it. And if you're going to have a superhero show, you need to focus on the lead with the other supporting characters behind her. But none of the Arrowverse shows do this anyway. It's Team Arrow, Team Flash, Team Supergirl, Team Legends. Team Legends is fine. It's Legends of Tomorrow. They are a team. So that actually makes sense. But what's going to happen to Supergirl now? I don't think they can sustain all these shows. They're losing Arrow. They're losing Arrow, right? So they're doing a backdoor pilot for this female spin-off, right? With Canary and a few other characters, right? With a couple of the Canaries, by the way. And Oliver's daughter will be in it as well. So that sounds like an interesting idea. So they're going to do that. You would imagine if they're doing a backdoor pilot, it's definitely going to become a series. So then, now they've confirmed. Elizabeth Tulloch announced it. Tyler Hoechlin has confirmed it as well. They are doing a Superman and Lois TV show. And this must mean something for the future of Supergirl. Now, if you're a Supergirl fan, I would be very, very concerned if I were you, because something's going to happen here. Do I think they'll cancel the show? No. I don't think they'll cancel Mel Benoist and her show. Absolutely not. I think there's two things they're discussing from what I hear. One is to reduce the episode order to 12 episodes, and I think the same amount of episodes would happen with the Superman and Lois TV show. So they would share that episode order. So instead of 22 episodes for one, it's 12 episodes each. But the other thing I hear they're talking about, and I think this is a much better idea, and I actually think they should have went with this instead of, selling this as a Superman and Lois TV show. And they're doing that because of their identity politics. Now, I've told you what I think. I think this show will be more about Lois than Superman. It's going to be a very domesticated TV show, and it's not going to be the awesome Superman, facing his villains every week like we want, like we're desperate for. That's what Superman fans want. But what Superman fans want and what they get are two different things. So absolutely what I would have done was, instead of going with this Superman and Lois thing, I would have gone with Superman and Supergirl. You could call it the House of L, or you could call it Superman and Supergirl. So what would happen is you would merge both the shows together. They are discussing this, by the way. So, so you'd have Superman and Supergirl. So basically, Supergirl and her supporting characters would join the Superman TV show. I think this would absolutely work. It would capture people's imagination, and it's a show that I'd definitely be more interested in. Now, of course, I'm going to watch the pilot of this Superman and Lois TV show. It's Superman, for crying out loud. Whatever I think of the CW, and I have, at this point, no trust of what Berlanti is doing or what he's done. I think Berlanti's a very talented producer, or he wouldn't be where he is. But I certainly think that a Superman and Lois show doesn't sell as well as a Superman and Supergirl show. If you merge these shows together, it's very interesting. And there's less opportunity for filler episodes, because if you've got Superman and Supergirl in the same TV series, that's going to work. You can have episodes with Superman, sometimes episodes with Supergirl, sometimes with them fighting together. You can build that beautiful relationship between Superman and Supergirl. They're cousins. It would be awesome. And I was just discussing something with someone I think who writes for DC Well. and they were saying, what's the point? If you've got Supergirl, what's the point in Superman? And I said, wash your mouth out. What do you mean, what's the point in Superman just because it's a Supergirl? That's a ridiculous thing to say, but he makes a very valid point. You know, Supergirl has borrowed so much from Superman. Is there a point of having both shows? Well, I feel if these were, talented writers and producers with great imaginations, that wouldn't be a problem. But we are dealing with people who work on Arrowverse, by the way. So that is an issue. So I think something will change with Supergirl. I would definitely punt for Superman and Supergirl merging together as one show. That would be epic. If I was in charge, if I was Greg Berlanti, that's what I'd do. It's a lesser budget. You don't have two of the same shows on the go. So I think something's going to happen. I do not think they're going to cancel Supergirl. I just don't see it. I was very surprised they're cancelling Arrow, and Stephen Amell, who I love. I think he's an absolute gentleman. He does a lot for charity. He's very polite. He's very respectful of people as well. And he seems to be the leader of that franchise. He always comes out and, he's brilliant. He said he decided he wanted to leave and he didn't want to do it anymore. Whether I believe him or not is another thing. Now, apparently, his real home, he's based away from Canada. So it was very difficult for him to keep on working in Canada. And I get that. But I'm not sure if I believe that. And I think it's a shame they've cancelled that show. I mean, we can't even call it Arrowverse anymore. We're always going to call it Arrowverse, though. So I think the answer to this problem is to merge Superman with Supergirl. Whether they'll do that or not, it remains to be seen. But I think either that or either a reduction of episodes for Supergirl and Superman having 12 episodes as well could be a great thing. You could start one in the fall and then you could end it before Christmas and then you could start the next one, maybe Supergirl or Superman, in the January. So that would be really good and it would keep both shows really, really fresh. But personally, I would absolutely merge both shows. But yes, there will be consequences of some sort for Supergirl because I don't believe you can have a Superman show and have Supergirl running off 20, 21, 22 episodes a year. It's just not viable. And as well with the female kind of spin-off for Arrow, something's got to give. I would be very surprised if that female spin-off has 20 episodes as well. Look, Greg Berlanti has got a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, and there's a lot of shows in this Arrowverse now. It's becoming oversaturated, isn't it? So something's got to give here. I would keep your eyes open. I would subscribe to this channel because I'm the one who's going to have any news. I may not have very many subscribers. I may just be working with a Lenovo tablet with a built-in mic and camera, but I do know a lot of things. I do have my ear to the ground. I'm always on Twitter. I follow the right people follow me, and I do have information. So as soon as anything breaks on this subject, you, my special amazing subscribers here at Big Mouth, will find out first. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad so you can keep up to date with everything DC.